What you are about to see is a series of antique glass negatives. These photo negatives were taken by one of Niagara's foremost 19th century photographers named George Barker in approximately 1875. You will see 10 glass negatives measuring 15 inches by 18 inches. The waterfalls you will view are what is commonly referred to as the American Falls. They will be viewed from both sides of the Niagara Gorge. This film will also give you the opportunity to see the early bridges that span the Niagara Gorge, connecting Canada to the United States. Some of the negatives project a negative image, while others project a positive image. A few of the negatives have clouds hand-painted into the scene after the negative was developed. This was a common practice as cloud photography was not practical during this time period. We can assume that the painted clouds to be done by George Barker himself, as he was a skilled artist with paint and pen before he ventured into photography. He had his hand-painted stereo card of the Maid of the Mist shooting through Niagara's lower rapids is well known to his stereo card collectors. This film will enable you, the viewer, a rare view of one of Niagara's most prolific photographers of the 19th century. This is a negative projecting image showing Niagara Falls in winter. Negative number 2. This is also a negative projecting image, once again showing Niagara Falls in winter. Negative number 3. One of the early suspension bridges spanning the Niagara Falls Gorge between the United States and Canada. Negative number 4. This is another suspension bridge spanning the gorge. This was called the Lower Suspension Bridge and was about 3 miles downriver from the falls. It is across this bridge that George Barker first entered into the United States from Canada, spending his last 25 cents to cross the bridge. This is a close-up of the hotel at one end of the bridge. This is a close-up of the tower at the opposite end of the bridge. This is a close-up of the tramway and the observatory at the bottom of the gorge. One could ride a train to the bottom of the gorge at this point here. Negative number 5. This is another of Niagara's suspension bridges. The individual standing in the lower left corner, who is he? Negative number 6. The American Falls, taken from the Canadian side. Take note of the lower right-hand corner. We will be going there. Close-up of the lower right-hand corner. Notice the walkway. This is the same negative, a close-up of the Cataract Hotel. George Barker was said to have lived in a house next door to the Cataract Hotel. Perhaps the smaller building on your right. Negative number 7. Once again, this is a shot of the American Falls in winter. Take note of the tower-like structure that appears in the upper left-hand portion. This is a close-up of that tower structure. There's a gentleman standing here. And also, some sort of large tripod mounted instrument. Camera, perhaps? Negative number 8. The American Falls, taken from Canada. I have seen other photographs from this same angle with this same park bench. One in particular was dated 1864 and showed 4 Confederate officers sitting on this park bench. That photo was also done by George Barker. Negative number 9. Once again, this is a winter scene of the American Falls in winter. At the at the left side of the screen can be seen one of the towers of the suspension bridge, what was referred to as the upper suspension bridge. Negative number 10. Also a scene of the American Falls in winter. Once again, this is a close-up of the tripod mounted instrument. This is also in negative number 10. The hand-painted clouds, done by George Barker.